Let me tell you something. In 1 week, I bought $100,000 equipment truck, $100-something car, and getting ready to get another truck, all off credit.
We in the building, man, back with another episode. You're watching From A to Z with WB, the show where we sit down with entrepreneurs from all around the city, man, getting their story on how they got from point A to point Z. Today I got a very, very special guest, a partner of mine, somebody that helped me along the way, and he's going to be able to help you guys too, man. I want you to introduce yourself, you know what I mean, and tell the people who you are and what you do.
I'm Antoni Gadsden, to the city of Jacksonville, the people who don't know me, and I'm an entrepreneur. Marketing is my specialty.
Okay. So marketing is your specialty. So before we jump into everything, man, let's, want to see how your week been going so far.
My week been good, man. Always blessed to see another day. So I've been real excited lately. So every day, man, I'm just like living in the moment.
What's the excitement coming from?
Just getting around new people, man.
New
God just been taking me to another level. So for me, I'm just excited. I have a conversation, seem like daily. I said it today at the table in a meeting. I'm like, man, I've been having this conversation. So I say tomorrow I can say yesterday I had this conversation, and then Saturday I'll say yesterday. So every day I'm having an organic conversation that's just so enlightening, man, and it's just taking me to the level in which I envisioned for myself years ago.
That's what's up. So pretty much manifesting and bringing all that stuff to like fruition now. Right.
I mean, it's been you've been knowing me for a minute.
Yeah.
And so for most people, who've been knowing me for years, feel like, what I've owned for the businesses I've owned, like the clothing stores, entertainment companies, the promotion companies and stuff, it seemed to be, I was here. But that's what you see. In here, I wasn't there. And so, I've been able to connect the dots and get it here. And so in here, I'm up here. So what you see outside of that, that's just what it is. But in here is what really counts. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And that's what this is about, too, getting into that and tapping into that. Because we all handle business, but we all got other things we got to work on, too. So you can have your business going and all that other stuff. But like you said, if you don't have in here right or in here right, then nothing else really matters.
Right.
But I'm glad your week is going good, and I'm glad that you're having conversations that's leading you on to the next day and giving you that excitement, you know what I mean? Because that's what we need. But tell me about young Tony, man. Let's go back to like that 13, 15-year-old.
I'm going to tell you something real crazy. On the way here, actually pulling in here, I had called one of my guys who I have on staff from Orlando. He came here, though, because we short staffed for one guy. Anyway, he was installing one of our digital screens, and he was in a place with these two guys who know me. And so another guy walked in who know me from the 15-year-old Tony. And I promise you, I ain't making this just happen. He say, man, these guys was like, yeah, because they were my brother age. He don't know who the guy was. He didn't ask him his name, but he said this guy was just saying that Tony always been that way. He always been ahead of his time. And always been a visionary and always bring things to fruition, basically. I mean, he didn't probably say it that way, but
he was saying in a nutshell,
Yeah, so to be honest with you, man, for me, though, the young Tony was searching, didn't understand a lot, understood a lot, but didn't have a lot. And so a lot of conversations that I engage with people from my past, whether it be female or male, I forgot that I even had these conversations. So because I just do things raw and I just do things from the heart, basically.
Organic.
And so it's just like, if I tell you something, I meant it, and I keep it moving. But the way that we grew up, man, we didn't have nothing, I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth. Slept on the floor and we had rats.
In the house?
Yeah, so imagine sleeping on the floor and you got rats. So me and my little brother on the floor, and our bed was the carpet. The rug that was on the floor. And so we had a cover, and I think we both had a pillow. We shared a pillow, whatever. But we would have to tuck all around us so
the rats don't crawl on
Right. I mean, not knowing if they would, my grandma would say, they ain't going to crawl on y'all, but we like, I had to dump the rats from the trap, and I was scared to do that. So imagine sleeping on the floor where they running that and not knowing.
Live rats running around.
So that's just giving you an idea of, like, where we were, not taking nothing away from my grandmother, my parents, just that's just what it was. We were poor. So, but I believe that I strive so hard now because of that. Well, a lot of people make excuses for where they come from. I made reasons not to be that way, and so I thank God for all of it, the sleeping on the floor with the rats, not having no clothes, not having a haircut every 2-3 months, all of that, because I knew that I was going to change that when I got to a certain age and I was able to do things myself. So I started out, actually, you talking about 15, I started out hustling at 11,
When you say hustling, what you mean?
Like saving cans, cutting yards, working at the watermelon stand. I learned how to cut hair because my mom messed my haircut up and I wasn't going to school with no messed up haircut. So
you gonna cut your own.
So she had some the clipper she used, I cut it down low, gave myself like a less than a 1, between a 0 and a 1, and take myself up. And they picked on me the next day, but you know what? I was proud.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm gonna do this again, right? Because I felt like and I'm like this now. I don't care what you think about me.
Yeah, as long as
you know what I'm saying? As long as I'm straight. So they was laughing, but I'm like, I'm happy. You know why? Because I'm like, man, now I ain't got to wait 2 months on the haircut. I can do it myself. And as long as I'm satisfied with the way it look, it don't matter. Because I done found a way around the situation. You get what I'm saying? Right. And so to bottle it all up, that's the Tony. That's the Tony back at 15 or 12. Don't care about what you think. Define odds. I ain't worrying about where I'm at because I know where I'm going. And I know however I do it, as long as I did it, I'm satisfied with it.
So that's dope, man. That's for you to experience that at that time though. Were you thinking like I know I'm gonna make my situation better, or was that something that you kind of like was ashamed about?
Nah, man. I made it better, so it wasn't even like a forward thinking that I'm gonna make it better. It was always that. In that moment, whatever the obstacle was, we got it. And then I had to have my younger brother too. So we got this, you know what I'm saying?
How do you get there in that mind state to say, I'm going to make this situation better? Did you have anybody around you that you can look up to that was doing better in your family?
Nah.
Or anybody guidance to look to?
Nah, they was doing worse and I ain't want to be like that.
So that was your motivation?
Yeah, I mean, part of it, everything around me was like, we ain't got nothing. So how much lower can we go? We can't do nothing but go up. So whatever we had to go on top of what we didn't have was something. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So we might not have had 2 pieces of bread, but we're going to split it in half and we're going to still make a sandwich out of the end bread if we have to. And if I got to cut it 4 ways so my sister and my brother can eat, we ate.
Right.
We ain't as hungry as we was now. It might not last for 4 hours, but we'll figure something else out.
I got you.
Get what I'm saying?
So that mind state was to always figure something out, make something happen, make something out of nothing.
Right.
In a nutshell.
Right. And I didn't even know that's what I was doing. That's just like what it was.
So that's 13, 15-year-old Tony. Going into your 20s, like what were you? Did you already have a business mind state, or did you know you were going to be into business, or did you have any aspirations to do anything else?
So I'm gonna take it one step back. So at 12, I was cutting hair and cutting yards. So I was already an entrepreneur. So it was already in me. So it was already destined to be that way. Right. I just had to figure it out. You get what I'm saying? So high school, same thing. I had 2 cars in high school. My cars was fixed up. Rims,
I had no car.
the seats, and all what the dope boys had, but I worked at Popeye.
Yeah.
So having nice things, I'm no stranger to that. Working hard for it to get it, I'm no stranger to it. So I can't skip over that to get to the 20. But I will tell you, I had 2 jobs. One was Popeyes and the other was Winn-Dixie Warehouse. And I found out Winn-Dixie Warehouse was paying us good back then. It was like 96, 95, 96 back then. I think like $16 an hour and all that. But I'm just like, I'm looking at these old cats like, they're like, man, you gonna be, because I excelled at the job. I learned how to do everything that everybody else did in short time, and they like, you gonna be the foreman. I'm like, the hell I am. Yeah. And I figured out, so a dude put me on a little hustle where I was making what I was making in a week for myself in an hour. So.
And this was at Winn-Dixie.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I told my best friend, I say, man, because he got me the job. I say, dog, I got to go. We at the time clock. I said, I ain't clocking back here. What time? I ain't coming back. He looked at me like I was crazy, like, nigga, $16.
Yeah, but you done found something that can.
Because
make
y'all
in that
making
1
$16,000 an hour.
Yeah.
I want to make the 16 and pay the 16. Matter of fact, I want to make the 16 and pay somebody 50. Because 16 ain't enough.
So your mind state was already there at age 12.
Right.
All right, so you age 12, you already got that entrepreneur spirit in you, that hustler in you, going into your 20s. Now I know, and some people from here who know your relationship with D.
Mm-hmm.
When did y'all like link up, and how did y'all even get to that point to like, hey, let's do business together? Cause that's a tough thing to do with friends.
All right, so basically, the clothing store thing was something that I wanted to do before me and D really connected to decide we was gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
So in '96, when the dude showed me the hustle, and I was making real money.
Hold on. What was the hustle?
It was playing the banks out of money, basically.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna get it.
I feel you.
But I mean, but I ain't ashamed of it.
Yeah,
It just ain't. I ain't trying to get no game out there on it, cause that's that. But I want people to know that I've done it. You know, I've done certain things or whatever. And the reason why I want people to know that is because these cats out here think that that's all it is and that's all that they can do. But here's what you gotta understand with me with that, and then we're gonna go back to your question.
Take your time. Come on.
So I realized when I was hustling the banks and these dudes was hustling dope, I was smarter than them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought about, dang, you gonna spend $25,000 to get a key of cocaine, if that's what you're doing. You gotta send somebody with your money, or you got to go get it. They gotta make it there without getting robbed or pulled over. Bring it back, still gotta make it back. Bring it back to you for you to sell it to all these other. It's just too much for me.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna cut this check to the bank and make me 25, and I'm good in an hour. You get what I'm saying? And really, when you spend 25, you ain't making 25. You might make $5 grand. I can make 25,000
and it's your 25
in an hour.
Yeah.
Right. So when they was like, man, doing all that. That's what the sissies do. Okay. Yeah. But then soon when they figured it out, hey man, put me on. Nah. You know, that's keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. So always, and then you know what? One of the main things is because I studied the laws and I knew how much time dope got, and I knew how much time this got. Mm-hmm. So if I can make $1 million doing this, I don't get 18 months. You make $1 million, you're gonna get 25 years.
To life, yeah.
So I'm smarter than you in my mind. Not saying technically you dumb, but I'm just saying just put 2 and 2 together. So back to your question, D, I was already going into the clothing or whatever, so nobody in the city would help me. All these people I was spending my money with, you know, Soul Train and Iceman, and I come in, they knew me by name, and you know, you walk in, you proud because they know you by name and all that. So I'm figuring I can go to them and be like, hey man, you know, put me on the game. I got $100,000 or whatever, you know, I want to get a store, and
they wouldn't help you.
Hell no.
Yeah.
That's when I found out that at that point it's all about black people. Because they pissed me off. It's all about black people.
So you made, and that's a good point to get to. Is that why you put the store where it was at that time, like in the middle of the hood?
By design. That's why everything I do is put in the hood and for black people. Period.
That's dope.
Period. So, but long story short, I propositioned I didn't want to go into business by myself. I had the whole plan and everything. And D didn't. He was just D. D was fortunate. I had a audio shop where we sold rims and stuff on Beaver Street. And so D would come up there. He got hurt on his job. He would come up there every day and hang out. And we would ride. We had scooters. We would ride to go get something to eat. We were just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? And so he overheard me asking my partner. He overheard me talking to my partner, him saying, hey, he couldn't do it because his wife was like, no, he going to business with me. So D was like, shoot, I got some money coming, I go into business with you. And boom, there it is. But we were friends before that, though. Right. Of course, but he wasn't, he was working, so I didn't know he would even, and I didn't want to do it by myself, and we were cool, and we had a bond already. you know. And so I'm like, well, shoot, let's do it. And that's how we created. It was Real Deal Fashions. And then
See,
we
I don't remember. I just
904.
remember 904 Fashion. When I came, it was 904 Fashion.
It was
For
in the
those
flea
who
market.
don't know, Tony and D were the first individuals in Jacksonville to even give me a shot with putting my clothes in the store. Like, you know what I mean? Do you remember that? Those times?
Yeah.
So you have D at the time who comes to you and say, look, man, shoot, I'm down. I want to jump in and let's do this together. How did you know that, like, okay, this is the right person to do it with? Because you got to have some type of business mind. Did he have a business mind or something that attracted you to it, or y'all were just friends?
D had a hustle.
He had a hustle.
So he had to get the gab.
Gotcha.
He had a hustle. So, man, I watched D do a lot of stuff. Like, when I sold him a car, and he already had the rims. He bought the rims. But he had the rims on whatever car. But he had everything. He had a grill for the car. And he just knew how to make something out of nothing.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And so I just felt like friends played a part, because he wouldn't have probably been up to my shop if we weren't friends.
Right.
You know, but yes, and we never really had a problem. We never really had an argument about business or nothing like that, man. And you know, so me being the brains, him being the muscle. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a recipe for success.
I got it. It definitely was a recipe for success because, you know, from my knowledge, I know at the time y'all had 2 stores. I know it was one on the north side, and then y'all did the south side.
We had Normandy and Orange Park.
Yeah, I remember the Normandy. So you had 4 stores at the time. How long did that run go?
16 years.
So 16 years.
We made it through the recession. We were the only company that made it through the recession.
That.
So everybody who crapped on us, and I don't know if we can curse on it, but everybody who did that, most of those people went out of business during the recession. But I had told D, because they used to try to, when I went to them, they wouldn't help me, but even after that, they tried to blackball us. And I told D was a hothead. He ready to, I'm like, nah. I say, because whatever God has for us is for us. Any man who try to get in the middle of that will be cursed.
Right.
I used to always say that. And a lot of people failed. Some people died. I don't know if that, but at the end of the day, we were still standing.
What did y'all do different that they didn't do to survive the recession?
We know our people.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't have to play big ball. Everything we own, we own cash.
Right.
They had what you call, they had loans, but they call it something. We would never take a loan. So if we had $1 million worth of inventory, that came out of our pocket. So when a recession hit, we ain't have to pay no bills to get our delivery. We don't even want no deliveries. We got $1 million worth of stuff. We're going to consolidate and liquidate. You get what I'm saying? And so we were able to consolidate down to 1 store. This is before we went to Orange Park. So we left because we figured out we was paying $5,200 a month on $5,280 to be exact on Atlantic.
Yeah, on South.
You know,
yeah, I remember.
And so, you know, like, man, get rid of that that's almost $7,000 a year. You know, get rid of that, and then the overhead and all that. We can put that back in our pocket, so we can make it out of this recession by just closing it and selling everything, and you know,
and
whatever.
Yeah.
So you know,
was the store that was on the north side? Was that the? Well, I know you said you were in the flea market first.
So the north side was the first standalone outside store. Yeah.
So that was the first store. So then the second store was what?
Atlantic.
And then you just trickled on to the 3rd and 4th store in Atlanta. So when did you decide to say, you know, all right, I done had a good run, 16 years. We just going to go ahead and let things go with 904 Fashions?
So the recession, as you know, changed things. And so when things change, you have to evolve. And so you can sit in a place when you see retail was going out, online stuff was starting to climb.
Yep.
And I never really got into the online thing, even though I was advised to, you know, so I'm just like, So when you go from making, you know, 80 grand a week to 10 grand a week.
That's a huge difference.
That's a big deal, you know. So it's like, shoot. So I'm like, let me have a backup plan, which I always had. Even I was doing stuff when we had the stores. Remember, I had Real or Nothing.
Yeah.
And so my magazine took off. My magazine was doing numbers. Unbeknownst, I had to straighten somebody about my magazine. I ain't gonna call his name when his little magazine. I said, this little magazine made $25,000 a month.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, you know, just those things, and that's what kind of getting us on the map was marketing for me. We marketed that. We worked with Cool Runnings, and we worked with Ivory, and we worked with all the clubs and different businesses. We were one of the first ones I know on the north side to do clothing drive. Back to school drives and toy drives for Christmas. You know, we did that way back before it was just something cool to do to get your name out. We did it from my heart, and we collected from some of the boys in the hood who shot with us, you know, and gave these kids Christmas and back to school and stuff like that. So, you know, but it was just time to move on to the next level, man.
Let me ask you something real quick, because you mentioned about the boys in the hood and stuff like that. Being that you in the hood, people know you got nice product. They know you making money. Did y'all ever have any run-ins with people trying to take stuff from y'all or rob the store or something like that? Or
you know, man, our store got broke in. Man, I'm gonna say collectively, all of them, probably about 20 times.
Wow.
They ran. We was on this show. We sold them the rights to this video where they ran the truck.
I remember that. They ran the
we
truck
had just got a big shipment.
thing.
It was the boxes. We didn't feel like messing with it. We was coming back the next day.
I remember that.
And so, yeah, man, that was like
the crazy thing is,
2
days before that happened, because I was in your store, I was dropping off some stuff, some clothes, some shirts to D. You were there too, but you was in the back with Beam. I think Jim Beam and them was back there. So 2 days before that, I was at the store. 2 days later, I saw that somebody tried to run a van through the store.
No, ran a van.
Or ran a van through the store.
Truck.
Yeah. I was like, dang, I was just there 2 days ago.
Man, we done been hit so many times that we just prepared for it. Like, we gonna leave something out to eat, you know, if you come. But we got somebody got shot one time. One of my ex-sister-in-law shot one of the guys that they was trying to rob. And then we've had so much, but you know, it come with the territory, man. We ain't.
That never made you think like, oh man, we need to move to another location, or let's get up out the hood and go somewhere else with it?
Nah, it pissed me off. That's what it did, to be honest with you. I ain't running from nothing. Yeah. It is what it is. Elements of life gonna always be out there. You just gotta be prepared. So it's a light in everything, you know. So, you know, with that, you know, whatever it is, I can teach somebody how to protect themselves and what to do if they got a store or property. So I don't cry over spilled milk, bro. It is what it is.
I can dig it. So you got the store, y'all. At this point, you like, we're gonna let the stores go. Your next, what did you have in your head? I know you had Real or Nothing, but what did you have like you were backing on, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do next. My next thing is this.
The God honest truth, man, when my biggest advertiser in the city was Dr. McGowan. McGowan, it was a rehabilitation center then. And after kind of connecting with him and seeing what he needed and knowing I had business knowledge and, you know, because I'm business savvy, I know how to grow a business. I grew up a couple $1 million businesses, right? So I'm like, dang, I can connect with this guy. And so it took a minute for him to trust me because he had, you know, had some other people who had he had worked with or whatever. So here I am coming in and somebody put some smudge on it or whatever, but he learned me for himself. And so I planned to go in there and take a back seat. So I'm gonna tell you, it's so ironic because people don't understand. I was up here, you know, out to y'all, but in here again, I was down here because I knew I needed more substance. I can't sell clothes for we used to go to Vegas and, you know, party at these and you probably been to the Magic Show and all of that and all that stuff. When we done been in front of Jay-Z, Beyonce, when she had Darion, Tia, all these people, we right there, you know. But I'm just like, yeah, in my 20s and early 30s, that's cool, but that ain't gonna be cool.
But I want to say something. Y'all put me on to Magic.
We did?
Yeah. Y'all told me like, yo, you don't got your stuff in Magic. I'm thinking it's like magic, like pow, poof. It's magic. Until y'all told me like, dog, you need to get registered. Like, you need to be out there in Vegas. Right. You need to be at these conventions. Right. You need to be at these trade shows. Right. And that's, you know, I was at the trade shows and it changed my life.
Like I said, I done had a lot of conversations and I can remember our encounters because you were like family. So it wasn't like talking to you wasn't like.
I always felt like I was bugging y'all though, cause I was there a lot.
You might have been bugging D. You know, I don't know, but for me, we just, you know what? It ain't bugging, man.
I wanted y'all to know that I was serious
about what you doing.
I just wanted y'all to know that I was serious.
I don't ever remember having a conversation, cause we made money.
Yeah, we did.
Shoot,
Yeah.
bugging me. We making money. It's different if you coming out asking for a handout. We made money together, so you know, in order for us to make money and systematically put things together, we got to communicate. So it ain't never not enough communication, you know, or whatever. But
so back to Dr. McGowan, right? Mm-hmm. You link up with him. So what was your mindset going to him, and what were you trying to do for him in his business?
I was trying to do something for me. I was trying to prove to myself that I could market. I can really be a marketer without a degree.
Gotcha.
You know, so 2012, we like, okay, we gon', because I did some good stuff, but I'm just like comprehensively, it was just, I didn't have anything really like, okay. And so I was self-taught, you know, and so I used that. I said, I'm going to take this back seat and go to work for this guy, but I'm going to use this platform to build my own.
So you were when you were working for him, what were you doing? Like, what was your role?
Marketing director. He gave me the name. I'm just like, okay, I'm marketing director. You know, it sounded good, you know. Right. And so what I was able to do, and I think I told him most of this, but I was able to say, hey, I'm Antoni Gadsden, the marketing director for Dr. McGowan. We want to spend some money, right? Whether it was true or not. But I was smart enough to know if I say we want to spend some money, you're going to open the door and talk to me.
Yeah, you're going to listen.
So all the doors open. And I played the game with them, play. I played second, but I always knew I had a lot more experience than a lot of people, man, from in a lot of different areas, but I wasn't fully abreast on certain things that I needed to be better in this area of business to be able to work with more people. So this man giving me a chance, and he's such a cool person to where if I do make a mistake, which I haven't, you know.
I never met him. I just see him on all the billboards.
He cool, man. He real cool, man. Actually, man, I learned a lot from him on how to deal with people, how to treat people, how to really get in the community and give back. Just so many different things, man. And so it was just a blessing. But I mentioned that, man, because a lot of times we want to always just be the man. Or we want to be the leader. You got to be a good follower. And you got to know that at certain times in life, whether you the leader, sometimes, because it's always levels. You know, it's infinite.
Right.
You know, till we get to God. You know, so you ain't gonna, depending on what room you go in, you might be the man over there in that room. When you come over here, it's a whole nother man over here.
I got you.
So you gotta know you can't be egotistical and say, I ain't going in there. Or when you get in there, try to be the man. Just come in, you might learn something. So, but when you design it, I designed this for where I am right now.
Right.
I tell you, I wrote it down. People read it. They come to my office and I give them this book. Like a new guy work for me now. He read it. And he's like, when you wrote this? I said, a long time ago. And I said, everything that I wrote down without me looking at that book and reading it, it was done. You know, write the vision, make it plain.
Right.
Yeah.
So you working with Dr. McGowan. You done got rid of the store. At this time, did you still have Real or Nothing?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah. I still had the magazine going.
So still with the magazine going, and now you're working with Dr. McGowan. So I know you're a family man. I know you're married and stuff. Like, was there any point where maybe like your wife had doubt that you wasn't gonna make things happen or something? Like, cause it gets to that. You know things. You get up. You up here. Y'all making this much money. This, that, and the third. Then stuff started to go down, and you trying to balance out like where you going next and the things that you know where you trying to go, but you know women they like to see it. Were there any things that like came up where she doubted, or did she always believe?
She believed now more than ever, but you know, me and my wife different, you know, and so, but she allows me to be me. You get what I'm saying? I ain't the easiest person to deal with because I always want more. And so you might be wanting to sit down. I'm going to say, stand up. Let's go, you know. And so, but she's learned to respect, you know, respect things. And it didn't just come with the success. It was just like, it came with me communicating with her and getting her to understand. Because I'm like, look, it's a lot of stuff you don't know. See, we think our mama taught us everything. They didn't.
Right.
You know, they can't because times change.
Right.
So because I'm out here, I see more. And so, but what I do, I communicate and I be patient. But she had doubt, you know, she's like, you doing all these businesses, da, da, da. And I just like, I didn't, okay. Well, you know, because I'm the man. Yeah. So I got to make sure y'all straight. I'm not going to let you tell me what not to do when I know what God has told me to do. So, but for the most part, man, she's always been connected, you know.
Does she have an entrepreneur mind state, or she just you be entrepreneur and I'm gonna do this over here?
Now she does.
Okay.
So and when I say now, I mean like now, like in the last year, you know. And so that's why I tell people COVID is special because it'll change.
It changed a lot.
You know. And so, but now we work together. So we actually work together now. So that's pretty cool.
For women, you know, they are more like very anal on having to see things planned out to the T. And if it doesn't make sense, then they not jumping on it. Whereas we'll see something, we just need to see a vision. We just need to have our vision, see the light of the tunnel, knowing what we're going to do, plan our stuff out, and make it happen.
I don't think it's so much a difference between a man and a woman. I think humans. You have these type of humans, and you have these type of humans, whether it be female or male. Because I know a lot of dope women who men can't pick up what they putting down.
You're right about that.
So, and to me, women really like the key. I've been saying this for years before it was popular to say. I've been saying it for years. Like, if you go back home, I see my Facebook memories. I was saying this in 2008, 9, 10. Women are dope, man, especially when they have the spirit to get out here. Because you got to understand, man, a woman has to balance hormones, number one. But they got to balance life, kids. You know, so much being thrown at them. And women really don't get along like that. You know, it's hard. You send 5 women on the trip, you're going to get 5 different stories. So you have so much that you're up against. And then, you know, it ain't been that long, honestly, to where they've been able to be entrepreneurs. It ain't been that long. It might seem like it because of us, but it ain't been that long to where they even got rights to do certain things. So the way that they're responding to the challenges and the opportunities is just remarkable. And I love working with the right women, you know, who understand. But now when they don't get it, then it's a whole nother beast. But when they get it, man, they some dope creatures. So there's no much respect on that.
That's amazing, man. So I want to get to where you're at now, like the marketing. Like, how did you even get to that? How did you come up with the name Marketing Genius? Like, did that transpire from when you were working with Dr. McGowan?
Well, working with Dr. McGowan gave me confidence to know that I was dope, you know, at this marketing thing. And so he would go around and introduce everybody. Hey, y'all need to get him for his marketing. Even I'm like, Doc, wait. You know, and I didn't, again, I'm up here, but in here, I'm down here. So I built that confidence, and this allowed me to build it. So I had another company, Adtronics, which is a digital company. We did charging stations. We worked with Metro PCS, the NFL, Live Nation, all these companies. So
how did you get into that? Because I remember seeing the first one at the Bistro. Walking in there, seeing it, standing, you know, the tall tower, all the ads going through. Like, how did you get into that? How did you even know that was going to be something? Because, you know, you got to convince people that, hey, I'm going to put your ad on this billboard that's pretty much in your shop, but it's like a slideshow. Like, how did you convince people? How did you even know that was something that was going to be the next thing?
Man, and I ain't going to say
I just got a haircut today, bro, at Sap Shop. On the TV was your ad.
So I'm just a believer in so as a man think of, he is. So it's like if you can think of something, man, you can do it. And so here I am with a magazine that's becoming extinct, and the internet is this, and people need to advertise. So I started putting these TVs with DVD players in the clubs and the strip clubs in Jacksonville. And every time I got an ad, I got to go and change the DVD player. Unbeknownst to me, I ran into a friend of mine who said, man, you don't have to do that. You can do remote. What is remote? Or well, you can send it from here to there without having to go to it. And so I drew out what I wanted. Never seen this a day in my life. And he said, oh, they build those in China. And I drew out, the way that I drew it was already being manufactured in China. Wow. I had no clue. And so he could build them. He's a mechanical engineer. He built them. And so the one you saw in Bistro was the one we built. So the answer to the question, what made me want to do it is because I was dealing with businesses and in business myself, and the advertising world don't speak our language for black businesses. We can't afford that shit. We can't afford it. Right. So I'm like, I'm going to build something and make it powerful and put it out there that we can afford and appreciate. So everything that I do by design is for black businesses.
So you built, hold on, so, because I can't skip over this one part. You drew something in your visually that you didn't even know was already being created.
Because we were one of the first companies in the United States to even have these.
That's
outside
amazing,
of the airport, but the airport didn't have them like this. They got it on the walls and up high. Yeah. These were what they call kiosks, advertising. They were just coming in. I didn't know this. If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have had TV, big old TVs and DVD players. You know what I'm saying? So that's proof. But and so when stuff like that happen, you know it's meant for you.
Yeah, it's meant for you.
Yeah, you just gotta act on it. Some people, I don't know, I'm gone.
So if somebody, okay, let's say I'm a client, I'm coming to you, we're just gonna say I got clothes. I got a clothing company. I need some marketing. I'm trying to get my product out here. I'm trying to be a millionaire, multi-millionaire. Like, what's your packages? What do you do? What do you offer somebody?
We don't really have packages. You know, we offer products. So we own our own digital company. We own our own advertising screens. We own our own. I just bought a billboard truck that'll be here next week, so I have that. So could be
the mobile billboard truck.
Yeah, but we got it. Ain't nobody got this.
Yeah,
it's straight up. And everybody, I seen them though. You never seen them.
I believe.
You know, we building this. So had we got it when we were supposed to, we would have been on the second one. And so, you know, so the package thing. We do have a package that we're working on. But before we even get into the package, it ain't even about what we sell. It's about what you're willing to buy.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So the problem with black businesses is they want $1 million, but they don't want to invest.
You got it.
And me, I don't even know what I spend a month on marketing. I probably do, but I don't really worry about it. It's an expense to do business. And when you see people like the McGowans, the Osborns, the marketing geniuses, and so forth, and you see them out there, they spending money and they making money. It's a lot of millionaires in this city, bro.
No, it's a lot.
And they ain't getting it by penny pinching. They spending money.
Do billboards really work?
Yeah, they work. They work for what they work for. You get what I'm saying? So if you get one billboard, you ain't just because you spend $1,000 on the billboard don't mean you just done marketing and advertising. It's just one billboard on that side of town that you hope everybody see. You know, that's it.
So how does somebody go about that with the billboards? And the reason I'm asking because I'm interested in, because I'll see a billboard here and there, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really see it. Maybe every blue moon, like, okay, Dr. McGowan, for example, his billboards are everywhere, so you can't help but see it. But like you said, if you just get one,
that's the answer to your question, right?
So that's it. So you just need multiple billboards.
It's what they call an omnipresence. You don't have to have multiple billboards. You just have to have multiple. You got to be multifaceted with your marketing. So you can't, you can have one billboard, but you're on the radio, you on TV, you doing digital, you on these screens, you on this truck. Now you give the illusion that I'm everywhere because you are. It's omnipresent. So people feel like when you know, when you don't, you don't. I had a client today, a potential client, who was like, well, I don't believe that this will work. And I'm like, this ain't for you to believe. This our job to believe that it work. It's for you to do what you do. It's for you to make clothes. We don't make clothes.
And then you do the marketing.
That's it. Don't hire me and then tell me that what I'm giving you don't make sense. If you knew it didn't make sense, then you could have did it yourself.
What year did the marketing genius start? Like, what year did you say this is the actual business now?
2015. Really 16, but 15 name-wise started to move, but 16 seriously moving towards it. And I got out of the partnership with Adtronics in 17, and that's when I really emerged.
So you still do? So it's no more. You don't have any partnership with Adtronics anymore?
No, we dissolved it, so it don't even exist.
So how does it still? Because I was at shop.
I changed the name. I bought it. I claimed ownership. And then
Hey, marketing genius for real.
What we gonna do? Put it in the story? I can use it.
That makes sense.
And so my concept that I wanted for black businesses, we couldn't really see eye to eye.
Right.
Man, my partner now, he's doing well. He's doing great. He has another business. He's doing great. Numbers for real. But I had a vision on what I wanted, and he had a vision on what he wanted. I stayed the course on what I wanted, and So we doing it. So we're here, Orlando, Sanford, Tampa, and Atlanta now. And if we would have been in more cities if it wasn't for COVID, because we had a plan. I got a bunch of equipment that I bought that we was getting ready to. But
so what's next for the Marketing Genius? Like, what's your, let's say 2 years from now, where do you see your company going?
As far as the company, I'm positioning myself to let the company kind of run itself, so to speak, and have somebody who take my position and they, we got a system now, man, that's phenomenal. First time ever. We got a real system, so like JEA got a system, that kind of system, where we can run stuff all over the country, really wherever, and so I'm really excited about that. We now get to turn on the switch. So man, we did $1 million without having the switch on. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I say dumb it down, and really like 2-3 people really out here just hustling, and when they came in, they like, man, how you do all this? I'm like, God. And so now to see where we going, it ain't even about the money, man. It's like, I don't even care nothing about that. I care about helping people. I care about helping businesses. So my system is created to be able to create a environment where we can help more people. Because I hate telling people we can't do it or no, or your budget ain't enough. So I got a second company I'm getting ready to introduce for smaller budgets and all kind of stuff that we're doing. So we got a promotion company. We done became competition. So it for everything. Like, straight up, everything advertising, we competition, because it ain't nothing that we can't do.
So do you guys just work on like a budget, or?
Yeah, everything starts with a budget. And I'm going to tell you, black business owners, figure out a budget. Always have a budget for marketing.
Right.
Always. I don't know. Well, you need to find out. Do you have an accountant? Do you have a financial advisor?
Right.
Do you have a bank account?
Right.
Anything. Loans, like, man, they giving out loans, man. I mean, I got a truck. Let me tell you something. In 1 week, I bought a $100,000 equipment truck, $100-something thousand car, and getting ready to get another truck. All off credit.
Right.
All off credit. Period.
That's how you credit a check.
Yeah, and finna buy a whole bunch of other stuff. Credit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dang, and I mean, shout out to Janae White, man. Like, man, she's been a blessing. So she one of the people that got me excited out here too, you know. Because just when you think you know it all, boom, you bump into a specialist. That's why I say you gotta. So I follow her. She the leader when it come to that. You know what I'm saying? I know how to sit down in the seat and take notes. And then some other things. But I say that to say, man, it's easy to get that credit fixed, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And if you get that credit fixed and you align everything right, if you've been in business for as long as you've been, bruh, trust me, we got to sit down and talk.
I'm coming to the office.
It's crazy, man. And I was doing it. I'm doing my thing now. So, but now I'm like, dang, I'm in a whole nother space.
Right.
So I'm excited, But yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's amazing, man. This is why I wanted to sit down with you. This is why I'm trying to sit down with entrepreneurs in the city, so I could get these type of conversations, dog. So I could get these type of, jewels that you dropping just about the marketing, about getting your credit, how you was able to obtain the vehicles and the business ventures that you're about to do. Do you see yourself doing anything else? Like, what? I know you got something else in mind. Because the company's about to run itself.
Yeah, because I'm pretty deep in real estate investing. So, but with that, I got a vision to open up black strip malls, not really like plazas, where black-owned businesses.
You know what? I wanted to do that with the Kmart that they closed on Beach. Well, that one too. I always thought about putting a bunch of black businesses in there, making it like its own Black Wall Street.
Right.
Always thought about.
So kind of like you want to do like suites or something like that?
Suites, just that whole thing is its own, or like you say, like plazas, to where they have each store is a black-owned business. You know what I mean? It's its own little community. A bit. Is that what you trying to go to?
Yeah, something like that.
In on that, bro.
Different neighborhoods and just all kind of stuff. I mean, we have a plan already, a preliminary plan, I should say. That is one of the things, and then the other thing I want to build a school, not like a school, but a school for businesses, for business owners, for black business owners. I mean, is what it is. But black business owners, where they can learn. So when I'm talking about why you don't have a budget, you need to spend your money and that type of thing, and credit and building, educating them, you know. So that's what's next, really. That's really what's next. It's just a matter of finding the building now, and then we gonna execute that, and it's gonna be a membership, but it ain't gonna cost. It's just you got to be committed some way. It ain't gonna cost you for the membership, but you got to be spending some money, because everything costs, and it should. You got to pay for knowledge. I spend at least $2,000 to $5,000 a year on knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge.
You know, Damon John and forget the other dude we just signed up for, but these courses, and then I pay for other people to come in too and listen. And I'm gonna give courses. Like I have a whole. I just got to get in the building so I can really like sit down. Like I did this thing with Vita. From Alcavita a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we just had her on here.
And it's called My 4 Ps. You know the 4 Ps in marketing, but I got my 4 Ps, and I just enlighten them on some stuff, and they were just like, dang, you know. So I got a lot of that stuff. I got a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, more than anything, a lot of wisdom, and you know, motivation. You know, I have motivational calls with my team every Monday. And they week just be boom. You know.
To start them off right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. This is what this is about, man. I really appreciate you coming through, bro. Like, I looked up to you and D, because y'all really just gave me a platform. Like, you know, I ain't from here, so I ain't really know nobody. I'm leaving from the north side, going to school, EWC, and to me, coming across that bridge was just another world. You know what I mean? And or even just being on that north side and coming on that side of town to see where you guys were at, for y'all to give me that platform, will always, forever be appreciated. Like, always, bro. Man. You know what I mean? So, I've been dying to sit down and talk with you, dog, and I done gained some jewels just sitting here talking with you. I appreciate you for coming through. I'm going to say some words to the camera, but I want you to get a second to gather your thoughts, because I want you to give some positive motivation to any entrepreneurs that may be trying to get into business, and then whatever tips you could get them on marketing. You know what I mean? We can get into that. So, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As you can see, I got the marketing genius here. He didn't do nothing but drop jewels, because I knew he was going to drop jewels. And this is what this all is about, man. Taking this from point A to point Z, and that's what he did. You saw where he started at age 12. He was hustling. He had that business mentality all the way up to where he's at now. You know, in between having the different the clothing stores, the magazine company, even taking a step back to work underneath someone just to gain some more knowledge. And that takes a lot for you to be up here, as he said, but he was, you know, not up here. So I really appreciate you coming through. Make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast from A to Z with WB. I got the marketing genius here. The floor is yours, brother. Let them know, man. Give them some game.
I'm gonna give you what I spoke on a couple weeks ago. So the 4 Ps of marketing, for most business owners should know this. All business owners should know this, just to know it, you know, so that you know what you're spending your money on as it relates to marketing. But what they teach you in college, the 4 Ps of product, price, promotion, and place. That's all well and good, but before you can even get there, you need to know the 4 Ps. My 4 Ps are the 4 Ps of life, which is personality, performance, patience, perseverance. And there's 2 bonuses. But personality, the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. If you don't, this relates to customer service.
Right.
So you have to have the right personality. People, you know, one of the most complaints that we get as black business owners is bad customer service. And a bad personality trickles down to your workers. So you have to, either you allowing them to have this attitude, or they get this attitude from you. Yeah. So you got to have personality, performance, the action or process of carrying out or accomplishing an action, task, or function. How are you performing? How do you expect to make money or get anything done if you have piss poor performance? Or if you're training your people and allowing them to have piss poor performance? You have to perform well in order for your business to perform well. So what are you putting in it? How many hours a day are you working? How much are you out here doing to ensure that your business has success? Patience. This is a big one. The capacity to accept or tolerate delayed trouble or suffering without getting angry or upset. You have to have patience. People say, I'm patiently waiting. You don't patiently wait, you patiently work. You know, faith without work is dead. So you have to make sure that you working while you're waiting. And people say, I'm waiting on God. They come to me and say, well, I'm going to pray. And I say, well, did you pray before you came in? Yeah, well, then you met me. That's why you're here. So you don't, I feel like it's a slap in the face to say you waiting on God. God has already revealed to you what it is that he has for you. He's waiting on you. So be patient because it's seasons out there. So you don't want to rush it because it may not be your season yet because you watching your homeboy ball and you spend all your money trying to ball when your money should have been used to sow seeds. And then I learned something the other day. God gives you seeds to plant so that you can grow a harvest. When you plant a seed, it multiplies. Right. Most of y'all gonna eat y'all seeds instead of planting them. You know, you gotta plant those seeds, right? And so perseverance, persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Pandemic is another P. We had to persevere. We had to persevere. We had to be patient. We had to perform well through it, and we had to have the right personality. Because when these type things happen, it disrupt things. The divorce rate went up.
Yeah, it did.
You know, because the personality wasn't there, the mindset wasn't there. People, they weren't performing as well because things were taken away. They didn't understand they had to be patient because God was going to deliver. But you have to be willing to be patient in order to persevere, because perseverance is you rising back on top after the blow.
The brother is preaching, man.
So preparation is the bonus P. Right? Preparation. Be prepared. When the time comes, be prepared. Don't wait. You know, don't be reactive, be proactive.
Right.
You know, but be prepared and make sure you perform and you're patiently working, right? And you persevere when these obstacles come. And then the process. There's a process in anything. So in order for all of these things to work, you have to go through a process. Like, we want to rush it. Russell Simmons said that P. Diddy, somebody wanted to be this Super Rich, in the intro of Super Rich. He said that, you know, he hear everybody want to see P. Diddy, everybody want to be P. Diddy, I meant to say, but they don't want to go through what P. Diddy went through. Yeah. There's a process. He didn't just flash overnight, and he took risks. You know, he left and said this is what I was going to do. And he told him when he left what he was going to do. He wrote it in the book, like my book that I told you, and everything happened. And you know, you build yourself up to get to a point that so when God manifests, you are already there, and all you got to do is collect. You know, all you got to do is collect. But are you collecting by yourself? Are you collecting with people? See, a lot of times we're selfish, and God made me realize, like even with these Louis Vuitton shoes, you know what he said? I didn't give you the money for one pair. I gave it to you. I mean, for one person, I gave it to you for two because you married. So you have to share these things. God will bless you more when you share. That's why I share with my people and I give so much. I don't ask God to just do for me. I ask him to give me enough to share with other people, and that's why I'm blessed. You know, I'm not stingy. But the main one I want to say is when all else fails and it just seems like things are in the end, the last P is push. As long as you keep pushing, you can't lose.
Correct.
And that's it.
I don't have nothing else to say, man. You ended it perfect, man. The marketing genius. We're going to have your Instagram and everything on here, bro. That's it, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. From A to Z with WB. Make sure you subscribe. We out of here.